everybody, welcome back to the channel. This is Derek with the Heidi's Outdoors, and I wanted to make a video here to address some of the questions that I've been receiving in relation to something with my tractor. I have received a lot of questions about the Toothbar that people have seen on my loader bucket, and so I wanted to just provide some quick information. So up front, yes, I love this Toothbar. It has worked amazing for me, and I would recommend it to people who are interested or who think that they could really use it. So if for nothing else, yes, I love it, and I would highly recommend it. So what is a Toothbar used for? Well, a Toothbar is primarily used for digging or working in material that having a non-continuous edge really helps. So situations where a Toothbar is going to help you is whenever you're digging or you're working in highly compacted soils, where a continuous edge on your loader bucket is going to not really cut in as well because of everything is compacted. The teeth kind of help to cut in and help break up material for it to more easily or readily roll back into your bucket. Other scenarios are when you're working with like in topsoil. If you have vegetation, it helps to kind of pull out or to grip into some of that vegetation, like roots and things. So it can function as a minor root rake, although with caution. And additionally, I've found that it works really well for working with larger stone. Or so if you're working with rock that is 3 to 4 inch or larger, it has made a huge difference in being able to dig into a pile or get more to load into your bucket, so that way you can take and distribute it or move it elsewhere. So why I chose to go with a Toothbar was because of the amount of digging I knew I had to do with getting our driveway cut in and built. I knew that there was going to be lots of vegetation I was going to be working with, and so to me, it was kind of a no-brainer to have teeth on the front of your loader. You basically have 4 options that I've been able to find. I mean, please let me know if there are others out there. So please leave a comment if you've got a line on some additional options for people. The first option would be, and probably the most expensive, is buy a new bucket with teeth already on the cutting edge. So I've found that that's going to run you in the roughly $1,200 to $2,000 range. So that's probably going to be the most expensive, just to get a new bucket. So the second option is going to be a single piece Toothbar. So that's going to be something like your cutting edge from everything attachments, or that's going to be your Be Expanded Piranha Toothbar, where you have a single bar of metal that you attach to the front of your bucket. So that's going to add some serrations or some protrusions, some teeth. That's going to be your second most expensive option, ranging from my research from about $500 to $700. And part of that's because those get custom cut to the size you have, or if they already have them in stock, you still have to deal with shipping, and that's when you're talking a pretty sizable piece of metal that gets pretty expensive. So I found that they ran about $500 to $700. So the third option is a pre-assembled or a pre-built kit that takes and bolts on or welds on some teeth onto bar stock, and that attaches to your cutting edge. Found those range typically from $250 to $500. So you can find them from companies like Heavy Hitch. You can find some on Amazon that are already pre-assembled. The challenge there is just making certain that you find the right size to mount to your loader bucket. And usually they come pre-finished, pre-painted, and they have different methods for attachment. And the fourth option that I went with here was a DIY kit, or a kit that includes the bars, the mounting, all the mounting frame, and then the teeth with the teeth holders that you can attach and weld on yourself in the configuration that you want. The price varies by the number of teeth that you get, and so that I've found that ranges about $150 to $250, depending on again the number of teeth that you have. So it came with this 4-inch wide, 1/2-inch thick bar. Came with these bobcat style teeth. They're pin-on that attach and pin onto these teeth holders, which are welded onto the bar. This entire assembly has some 3/8-inch flanges that were welded onto the side and that bolt into the side of the bucket. So yeah, you do have to drill two holes in the sides of your buckets in order to accommodate those bolts. So toothbars are not the answer to everything when it comes to using a loader. There kind of are some problems that you have to consider here whenever you're thinking about do I need a toothbar or would I benefit from a toothbar. One is the added weight. You have to think about that weight is going to take away or diminish the lifting capacity you're going to have within your loader bucket. Another factor is that using a toothbar would make it easier to get your tractor loader into a bind, so that way, and you potentially could do damage to your loader. It provides that extra leverage that can do some damage to, say, your loader cylinders if you try and force it. Another problem is that you might have to make some modifications to your bucket, or you might have to drill the holes in your bucket. So for some people, that's not desirable. So that's just another consideration or to think about. So who I wouldn't recommend a toothbar for are subcompact tractors, because of the added weight is going to reduce your capacity. And where I have found with my tractor, I have with the weight of my tractor, my configuration, I'm able to put down force and have enough traction with the weight of my tractor, with the configuration of my environment, that I can use it and I can dig in pretty easily. Well, due to the lightweight nature of the tractors for subcompact tractors, and because of their lighter lifting capacities or lower lifting capacities, that presents some challenges. And so I wouldn't necessarily recommend toothbars for subcompact tractors. You're not going to materialize as much benefit. So additionally, I wouldn't recommend a toothbar for people who primarily are going to be working in loose materials. So that's going to be your smaller gravels, you're moving non-compacted soils or things of that kind of nature, because the teeth are unnecessary at that point, and they're probably just going to get in your way. So hope this answers some questions for you out there. If you're looking at getting a toothbar, there's several things to think about. There are lots of places you can pick them up. I got mine off Amazon, and it's been great for me. I think that for some people it makes sense. For some people it doesn't. It's not for everybody or in every situation. As always, thanks for watching, and we will see you on the next video.